Yeah, what's up? Okay. In 3, 2, 1. Hello.
And welcome back to another exciting episode
Of Live.
Let
Thrive. Keeping it real for the cameras.
Yeah, so what's up, man?
Oh, nothing much. This is episode 73.
Yes, sir.
And this is our very first YouTube Live that we're doing. So not only can you hear us on this awesome podcast, you can go to our Live, Let Thrive YouTube channel and watch us and watch our beautiful mugs right there on the screen, live and direct.
Yeah, man.
So I hope it's a good show, because especially, I mean, the Live, Let Thrive YouTube page, it's been lacking some love. So we're gonna start loving it up pretty good.
Yeah, because we haven't been showing it no love.
But you know, we're back, man, for episode 73. That's a big episode. Salud, my friend.
Oh yeah, salud. We got the Henny on the rocks.
The Henny. Oh, I got the rum on the rocks, Cuban rum.
Man, so what's been going on in the Airbnb world or short-term rental share economy world on your end?
Oh, a lot of stuff, man. A lot of stuff. I guess I'll start off with a quick hit. You know, I don't say quick tip, quick hit.
Quick hit.
I learned this from another podcast. No, was it? And you've reiterated it before. You know, I have a guest. It's a local guest, but it's cool. I checked him out. He's and I checked him out on the, you know, did some Facebook stalking on him. And he had a good reason to be, you know, renting my house for a few days.
Yeah.
He was doing his floors at his house.
Okay.
And so he just needed a spot to stay a few days, and I said, yeah, sure. So he booked it, and I told him after we came in contact and stuff.
Yeah.
I said, hey, by the way, if you need to stay an extra day, I know how those, you know, repairs go. If you need to stay an extra day, just hit me up directly. Send me a text message, and then, you know, I'll give you a good price, and then, you know, we'll avoid the taxes and fees and the Airbnb, all the BS. And oh, okay, man. So of course, the night before, he's like, hey, yeah, can we still get it another night? And I said, yeah, man, just, you know, just do you have? He goes, how would we do it? How would we do it? And I was like, well, just, you know, you have PayPal or Cash App or anything? And he's like, do you have Zelle? And you've been using Zelle?
Yes, sir.
Man, Zelle.
Zelle's the truth.
Zelle's the
truth. Yeah. I messed with Zelle.
For a quick, you know, thing on Zelle, if y'all don't know what it is, I'm pretty sure a lot of people do. But it's a lot of these banks are using this service called Zelle, where you could like transfer funds from. I could transfer from my bank, like Chase, to whatever your bank is, whatever you got, Bank of America, or whoever's part of this Zelle network. And so I said, yeah, I got Zelle, and boom, he sent me the money like right then and there. And I said, all right, I'll block it off for tomorrow. And it was that simple, you know. Yeah. And what Airbnb don't know can't hurt them.
You didn't block it, did you? You just raised your price to $500.
You know, I thought you just meant like if we blocked off large chunks that they're gonna get suspicious.
I've been doing it. Oh well, yeah, that's true. One day won't hurt.
Because one day is like a cleaning day, you know. Yeah. They're not gonna say nothing unless they listen to our podcast. They'd be like, oh, those mother lovers, we ain't getting our cut. What's up with that?
Yeah, I do it for everything now. I don't even block dates. I just raise them to $600,000 a night.
$600,000 a night?
Yeah, no, $600 to $1,000 a night. No, but some lady actually inquired about my condo around the corner for $33,000, and she's like, "Hey, I'm coming to the area. Is this the price? This is the correct price?" And I was like, "Well, yeah, you know, because I currently have somebody in there, but hey, you willing to pay $33,000? I'll give him $3,000 to move." Be like, "Hey, man, we got some numbers coming through, man. I'll put you in one of my places downtown. I got you."
And to reiterate, tell them what you were saying about the whole don't block off your calendar thing.
Yeah. When you block off large chunks on your calendar, Airbnb starts to flag it. Only reason I noticed it was because one of my rooms was getting really slow because I use it mainly for corporate. So then I was like, I'm not gonna block my dates anymore. I'm just gonna raise the rates really high. And what's gonna happen is when you go back to your normal rates, it's pretty much like a dip. So your listing goes back to the top because you have those normal rates in there. So that's what I've been doing. Shout out to Carter. She said she did it too and it worked.
Oh yeah, Carter.
Carter 2 times, you call it.
So nice they named it twice. And so on that note, when that person came through and said, is this, they wanted to maybe rent your place for $1,000 a night, a 1-bedroom condo. Man, you can get the Taj Mahal for $1,000 a night.
Hey, if you're willing to pay, hey, I can got room for you.
Heck yeah. And so that was cool. You were saying you would pay off the people that are currently there.
Yeah.
Here, I'll give you $3,000.
I'll give you $5,000.
$5,000.
Get out. I ain't stingy,
Damn. She could buy the condo for like 3 times that, right?
Yeah, well, no, prices are on the sky high.
They're coming up now. But anyways, so that was a little trick I learned and learned it from you and other various podcasts. It's good, especially listen to our podcast because we drop the real knowledge.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying?
Speaking of real knowledge, man, it was crazy. Like right after we left our last podcast, when I was driving home from our last podcast, big news hit about Hurst, Texas. Man.
Oh
man. So how's that going? I guess you gotta tell them the news. It's your city.
It's such a small city like Hurst. And there was no signs of like something coming down, a ban. There's not even that many people that do it really in Hurst. And like I said, I guess they just jumped on the banning bandwagon by all these North Texas cities that are banning it.
Yeah.
And it's kind of funny in a way because I heard the news and someone posted on the Astra group, Arlington short-term renters.
Short-term rental alliance.
Yeah, there you go. I can't say the name. Must be the rum. But and someone posted on there, oh, we got another one. Hurst is banning it. And I was like, oh crap, that's where mine. That's where mine is.
Yeah.
And so, I saw a little. And the next day on the the old guys at work, they watch the news every morning while we're selecting our jobs for the day, and they had like a little blip of about it. Yeah, Hurst is the latest city to ban Airbnb, and it showed their little Hurst mayor. I don't know who that. He probably runs a Dairy Queen when he's not mayor. And
your whole work crew turned around and started looking at you.
Not really. They think I run it out of Arlington because they know that I'm like kind of like helping, trying to help fight it a little in Arlington.
Yeah.
But so anyways, they I just looking at this guy. Yeah, we've heard noise complaints, and we just think this is the only way to get rid of it, and blah blah. And I was like, what? What complaints? I have like across from me is an elderly woman, and she's like the neighborhood, watches the whole neighborhood. She's never complained one time about anything. If she ain't complaining, I don't know who the hell's complaining. It might be true, but I think they're just following in suit, who
I think they are.
And so, but it was just like a little blip. And that was it. I never saw anything about it on the news again or anything. Yeah. I'm just like, it's kind of like these guys are small fries.
Yeah.
Kind of things. And so I'm like, well, I'll just keep doing it. But the thing is with Hurst, they gave us like, starting from December 11th, they're going to give us like a 6-month buffer. So that's like, it's kind of a long, it's kind of generous considering that like Grapevine was only going to give 45 days to stop Airbnb. And so, at least I have, if I wanted to keep doing it, I have that much time to do it. And I had talked to you about trying to go long term, going to corporate rental on it, and we'll see how it goes. I don't know. If we got to go underground, we got to go underground. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. By the way, I gave him the whole rundown of how to go underground. But what I wanted to comment on was that 45-day buffer. You know what I think that buffer is? I think, for those of y'all that don't know, Grapevine got junctions brought against the city, right?
Right.
Yeah, so I think pretty much Hurst was like, okay, we're going to ban it because all the other cities are doing it. and then Hurst got hit. Well, Grapevine got hit with Junction, so I think they might have been like, well, hold on, let's give them 6 months to see what Grapevine's gonna do.
And he did mention that too.
Yeah.
He mentioned that. Yeah, there's a current lawsuit against and Grapevine, and so we're going to be monitoring that, to see how our situation is going to turn out. He seemed real, he didn't seem real. He seemed kind of timid. I'm not trying to call him out, but he just seemed like I didn't even know we had a mayor in Hurst, It's a small city, and I'm laughing now, but whatever. But he said, we're monitoring the situation. We'll see, see what happens. So, Grapevine might be leading the charge after all. If there's stuff like the city loses, I'm not saying they will, but if that happens, these other cities will be like, oh crap, Now there's a precedent set.
Yeah. You set a precedent. So, I don't know, man. That's me interested, but I don't know. I think Grapevine. I think the city of Grapevine has some hotel money behind it. That's the only thing about Grapevine. Grapevine got a bunch of Great Wolf Lodge, all that's up there. There's people that drive from Arkansas to come here to go to that. You know what I mean?
So, yeah.
So.
But you got a crap load of stuff to talk about.
Oh man, it's funny when the Grapevine thing happened, and me and you, we were talking. We're like, hey, how do you go underground? And I was telling you how to go underground, create logos, take your picture off. Go pretty much be a company on Airbnb. So the day or so after that, a client that we consulted hit us up, and she was like, man, my apartment complex, which I told her, I'm like, hey, you got 2 ways to get you an arbitrage. You can get a corporate lease, or if you want to put it in your name and do it under the ground, you can do it. But I was like, there's precautions that come with that. You need to make sure your information's right. Yeah, man, they caught her. She didn't. She put her face up there, put all her personal information, and the whole apartment complex shut her down, man. Give her a little notice, like, hey, keep doing it. You got to pay 2 G's for an eviction, and you got to stop immediately. So I was like,
so it was pretty easy to find her because she had her name on there.
Yeah.
And who do they have like scouring the web for these?
I don't know, but I'm gonna assume in an apartment complex, if they start seeing a lot of people in and out, they're just gonna scour their list, their whatever.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I remember one time, shout out to Josh. Me and Josh sat up till like 2 o'clock in the morning finding out which places had the most Airbnbs in Dallas. And we started just tagging them, going straight up to them, asking them for leases.
Wow.
That's so. If we can do it, they can do it.
Josh, attaboy.
Yeah.
What's up, man? How you been? What up?
But yeah, that's what I was saying. Like it's fairly simple to do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, you got to be careful if you're going, especially now with all these little cities saying they're banning it and everything.
I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Micah. And it's let me hop on this this Facebook thing real quick because we got like a comment on our Facebook page. Did you see it?
Yeah. Click on that.
Oh, there we go. Oh yeah. She just responded again.
I seen it, but I didn't answer it.
Okay, I wanted to save it for the show. I wanted to save it for the cast, as they say in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Where are we at? Where's she at? Is this it right here? Oh yeah, it's under. Okay. Wait a minute.
Yeah, scroll down.
Scroll down. All right. First, Eric Chan asked you a good question, but it came off. Is it down farther?
Yeah, you gotta click view more.
Oh, view more. Look at this. See, I haven't used my laptop in a while. It's all phone now, so it's a little weird. Okay, here we go. Okay, Mr. Chan was talking about something. You want to sum up what he said, or did you want to just jump into what she said?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Becca Perfecto, I guess she's perfect. She said, she listened to LLT this week while driving from Denton to Fort Worth. I don't know how many eps she got in. That's not a long drive. But anyways, that's beside the point. She got like in half a show. And she said, excellent shows. Oh, this whole week. Okay, back and forth, whatever. Question, in order to avoid a guest staying past their checkout time, which is the biggest question in all these forums, right? That's the biggest question. Everybody asking.
Dealt with that twice this week.
Yeah. I was thinking of installing Simply Safe and letting guests know that during the checkout time, alarms are automatically turned on and are monitored by police dispatch. Whoo! I would also be willing to extend their pending communication and availability. Is that too drastic?
Hell yeah.
Is she asking for a bad review?
I mean, yeah, that. No, I don't think. Yeah, not also asking for a bad review, but that's just too drastic. You got alarms going off, monitored by police dispatch. Dang, man. I don't think it's that serious. But nah, I mean, I've had 2 guests check out late this week. Both of them communicated, but they stayed past the point that they were supposed to check out. But we got rid of them. But rid of one of them. The other one extended. But I mean, it's a good idea, but I wouldn't go that far. It ain't that serious.
Now, what jumps to my head first of all, because I mean, I know she's worried about getting the cleanings and turnovers done in time, right?
Mm-hmm.
I would first ask what is her checkout time and what is her check-in time, because if she has a 11 o'clock or 10, I'm sorry, if she has like a 12 o'clock, checkout time, and she notices folks won't, have been not leaving in time. You might move that back 1 hour to like 11. You might even move it back to 10. Some people have 10 o'clock. Or you might go on the other end, the the check-in time for the next guest. If you have them checking in at 2, you might change it to 3 or 4. Give yourself a bigger buffer, and what that does too, it gives you more of a window to play with. Like a guest is gonna wants to check in early. We get that question all the time too.
Yeah.
You say, hey, check-in time is 4 o'clock, but I'll see what I can do. Boom, boom, boom. And if you knock out the turnover by 1 or 2, hey, guess what? The place is ready early. You get like so many freaking brownie points, almost a guaranteed 5-star review because you let the guests check in early. But in reality, your your check-in time used to be 2 or 3. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you're kind of used to hitting those marks, and so if you move that check-in time, a little later. Or if you go the other way, move the checkout time a little earlier, that'll get them at least hustling, to leave by 10 or 11, and then they'll probably most likely be out of there by the 12 o'clock mark, whatever your checkout time was. That's just my first question. What are her check-in and checkout times, and maybe she could play with those before starting to threat, police action on.
Yeah, because I think because her question was, should she be installing alarms? I'm like, to wake up guests, man. Because I'm looking, because she said, yeah, when you think I should install some alarms, monitored by police dispatch,
that's a little rough.
Yeah, that's...
You're asking for a bad review, I think.
Me too.
Those guests are so strict and very police.
Yeah, man, straight up.
So, I would try to do... So what is your solution? You said you had 2 people checking out late.
Well, one of them, they had, their flights got delayed. One lady, this one lady was a traveling nurse, but she booked through Airbnb. And she was like, hey, can I get a later checkout? I was like, yeah, I can extend you till 3. And the one dude said he can I extended him till 3, so because I have 2 units in one place. So I told my cleaner to go over there at 3 o'clock. She was like, cool. When she got there, both of them were still in there. Now, the guy, I text him, he was like, okay, Ben, I'm getting out. But the girl, like 2 hours before, she's like, hey, I'm not gonna stay late, I'm gonna extend. So I was like, okay, cool, but she never put through a request to extend or nothing, so she was just sitting up in there. She told me later she had went to sleep, but I told her my cleaner was there, and she's like, oh, and she went in and instant booked. But then she started asking for a $75 cleaning fee back, and I was like,
what?
My cleaner showed up, and you didn't send through no request. But I'm going to go ahead and refund her, only because of the simple fact that she was new to using Airbnb.
Oh, okay.
And she didn't really know. She could extend for free, and it'll waive the cleaning fee.
Right.
But my solution, I send a message through Airbnb. First off, I don't talk to any of these people outside of Airbnb. I don't text them. I talk to them strictly through the app. And I have an automatic message going out that lets them know their checkout time. But I did, when I was out of town in Arkansas, I had somebody in one of my private rooms, and this dude didn't check out till 3 o'clock, and it was his first time using Airbnb, but I left him a bad review anyway. So, that's what you got to do. Leave him a bad review. I had another guy in my Arkansas property, I think I told you about, that did that. Just leave him a bad review. Well, not a bad review, but just let them know, hey, they check out late. Pretty much, they check out late and they don't read rules. Hey, it is what it is, especially if I send you a message telling you checkout time.
That's true. So I hope that helps. I just dropped the thing. What was her name? Becca Perfecto Mrs. Becca Perfecto. Thank you for being a fan. Thank you for the questions. Eric Chan hit you up too. He asked you some questions, but you answered his. Did you want to go over his at all? Or he said, "Great podcast." Hey.
Yeah.
Thanks. And if someone decides to do corporate housing in those areas that are getting banned, does that follow the same guidelines as Airbnb?
Hold on, what? Does corporate housing doesn't follow the same guidelines as Airbnb. It's 30-day minimum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that funny? That's like the magic number, right? If you rent your place out for 29 days, you're screwed. They'll come down at you $2,000 fine.
They ain't gonna know.
If you do 30 days,
they ain't gonna know.
Hey, it's cool.
It's 29 days. I've low key been in that. That's been in my mind for like my condo in Arlington.
Yeah.
That's mine. I was thinking about that. I'm like, how the hell would they know if it's 29 days? Yeah. So I mean, yeah, they wouldn't know. But Airbnb, on the other hand, is continuing to get worse and worse in their customer service.
Oh, snap.
I just had to go off on a representative. Well, Mahogany went off on the representative. Had to get. Oh yeah, what I always tell people: instead of talking to Airbnb, when they start telling you something that sounds like bullshit, get off the phone with them and no, don't get off the phone with them. Tell them, hey, can you send me a customer support message? And when they do, hang up with them and then talk through there. They'll get right. This lady tried to, what did this representative try to do? She tried to, I forgot what she said, man. But yeah, man, she pretty much was defending this guest on something the guest had done wrong. And I was like, put that in right. No. Okay, this guest booked. And it was one of those awaiting payments. And I called Airbnb and I told them, hey, can you remove this this awaiting payment? I'm like, hey, because my dates got booked through booking.com, fed them some BS. And she was like, no, we can't do that. So I was like, okay, just send me a message. And she sent me a message and I let them know on the message what had happened. And then she's like, oh, well, hold on, let me get the guest on the phone and I can get that removed for you. Let them know, they go ahead and pay. I was like, oh, okay, that's what I thought. But yeah, they be careful with Airbnb, man. They get everything in writing. That's what I say. Don't even talk to them on the phone. Straight up.
If need be, blow them up on the Twitters.
Yeah, straight
That's
up.
where you done battle with them, right?
Yeah. Yeah, a couple times. But yeah, battle with them in their inbox so everything you say is recorded.
It's recorded. Man, some dude went on the Airbnb finest host page and he gave like a detailed experience with Airbnb because someone had first he was trying to book 3 months and he's like, hell yeah, it's good money.
Yeah.
And then when the week came that she was going to actually book, she said, hey, my job changed, blah, blah, blah. Can I change it to just 1 month? He's like, okay, fine, you can do 1 month. Still, that's $1,800 for him, right? And to rent out one room out of his house. And so, it was on the Airbnb finance. I tagged you on it, I think. And anyways, so what happened, she was there one day, the first day. And then he's like, hey, is everything going good, blah, blah. He messaged her, yeah, everything's fine. And then I guess she hit up Airbnb directly and complained about cameras in the room, which there was no cameras. Oh. And so once they did that, they shut down his Airbnb immediately upon further examination. And they asked him, and they started messaging him about, the seriousness of having cameras. And he's like, I don't have any cameras in the house, And he goes, well, do you have smoke alarms? And he said, yeah, I got smoke alarms. He goes, well, we need you to take apart all your smoke alarms and then open them up for us and take pictures and send us pictures. And so he complies, and it's just this long thing that he put on the Facebook page. And so and he complied. He sent them all the pictures, this and that. And finally, they reinstated his Airbnb, but they didn't give him she got a refund for her, what she paid, and she bounced. And he's like, well, she booked my place for a month. It was blocked out for a month. I need to get refunded for the month or whatever. And they said, no, sorry, we'll refund you for 1 day. Anyways, he went back and forth fighting him. And I think they finally gave him 2 days because she was.
Take your payments outside of Airbnb. That's a simple solution.
Especially for the month rental.
I know 2 people that got shut down because somebody put a camera in their smoke alarm. So
I guess put a camera in there?
Yeah. I guess put a
camera. Oh, that's dirty. They're getting dirty.
Yeah, that's dirty right there.
Dang.
Yeah, but they shut down all their listings. Shut down everything, whole account.
Getting slick
Yeah,
Rick in
man.
here.
That's why, man. And Airbnb's not doing anything to stop it. That's the problem. Like, yeah, I'm telling people, man, you straight up see if you take your. If you can take payment outside of Airbnb, I suggest doing it. But yeah, man, it's getting bad out here.
Now, let's just play. Let's do like a role playing game real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Let's play like you're the CEO of Airbnb. You get hit up complaints from both sides all day long. How do you play it, man? How do you want to grow your business? You want to IPO, get your big old multi-billion dollar.
What would you say to me?
What would I say to you? Like,
Yeah.
what do you? Okay. Like in that situation where the guy's complaining, hey man, I didn't put no cameras in my room. That guest must have brought a camera. You gotta handle this. You shut down my listings. Put my listings back.
And I'm the CEO.
And you're the CEO of the company, or you handle those kind of matters. I don't know.
Oh, okay. If I'm the CEO, I had a good response for that.
Okay, what's the CEO response?
You asked me what should I do about your listing?
Yeah.
I don't know, but Airbnb is now starting to build hotels over here. You ignore that shit. That's what you do as a CEO.
Talk to my secretary.
Yeah, talk to my secretary. No, but if I was the person handling it?
Handling it. Someone complained, okay, the guest complained, there's camera in my room, this is effed up, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're like, oh, crap, your protocol is to shut it down, whatever. And then you get the dude, you said your buddy,
Okay.
hey, I didn't put no camera. They must have brought their own camera. And
Okay.
Then, how do you handle it?
What we're gonna do is we're gonna shut down your listing. Your listing, not your account. Your listing, and you're gonna go show us what's going on in your room, submit the proof, and then we can talk about it and discuss it. What's going on? But I'm not gonna shut down your account because I know you have other properties listed with us. But that's too rational for Airbnb. They do drastic bullshit to protect guests.
I think they're protecting themselves too from a big ass lawsuit because they're not going to sue they could sue the guy too that has the house, whatever. But if they could sue Airbnb for invading their privacy like that, they go after the big dogs. That's what the lawyers say. Let's not sue him. Let's sue Airbnb themselves, this company. They're supposed to provide a safe place for you to stay. So they're going to go after them with a multi-million-dollar lawsuit, I would think.
Could you though?
You do a slip and fall at Walmart, you're not gonna sue the janitor. You're gonna sue Walmart, right?
Yeah, but you're in Walmart's property.
You can still sue them. Oh, okay.
Yeah, but it's Walmart's property.
Okay, you're at that dude's
See,
property.
that's the fine line when you talk about the share economy. It ain't their property.
So Airbnb. I think people would like the people that were getting filmed at that dude's place. Remember that started the whole thing.
Yeah.
It was a few years ago.
They sued him. Airbnb was untouchable in that.
Really?
Yeah, they sued him.
Oh damn.
I don't think, like, honestly, man, Airbnb is in a good place. One, you can control the cash flow of what's coming in because you're a payment processor. Two, if anything goes wrong and lawsuits get pulled up, you can just kind of slick out of it. Like, hey, I don't live there. The host was supposed to take care of that.
Wow.
Brian Chesky's a genius.
Yeah.
I mean, you can really slip out of it. What can they? It's a fine line between, like you said, if you're in Walmart, you're not going to sue the janitor, but the janitor works for Walmart, and you're on Walmart's property.
That makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense.
Airbnb's just a payment processing center. They just serious. That's what they are.
They got the $1 million insurance policy, man.
Yeah, which nobody gets.
All right. We're humming along here, man. What you had a whole list of things.
That's another thing. Don't link your calendars to Airbnb. I learned that with that customer service representative I had to go off on. Don't link your calendars. Like if you have a calendar on VRBO, what VRBO and Airbnb, VRBO, their thing is if you pre-approve a booking, it blocks the dates, so you don't have to pre-approve it. Airbnb has a little BS policy where how would they go about it? If you remember how you push and accept and it has a waiting payment, it blocks all your calendars everywhere else.
Really?
Yeah, that's why they do that. So that's why I was like, yeah, I'm not, because the lady on the phone, the customer service representative went off phone, she was like, well, have you guys linked your calendars? And I told her, no, I ain't linking shit. Since you guys are sitting here blocking up calendars for everywhere else.
Damn.
Yeah, I'm not blocking my calendar so you can have control of it. That's what it is. Yeah, don't block it. If you have a high volume of units, don't block your calendar with Airbnb, the whole awaiting payment. Or what you can do is you can link them, and if the awaiting payment comes up, just unlink it. And they have to take it off if you tell them the room's not available.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
And you use they call it a PMS system to run all your listings, right?
Yeah.
And that's Guesty. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So that way you don't have to link it because Guesty takes care of all that, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, no. Guesty doesn't take care of that. You have to manually link it, but I say don't link it at all.
That's a lot of work for you, though. You have hundreds of listings.
Well, not for me. For somebody else.
Oh, you mean for Guesty? That you're saying?
Virtual assistants.
Oh, you're virtual. Why am I paying you ass?
But no, man. I mean, it's just a simple way to do it. But.
Yeah, that makes sense. I've never heard that before. I've never heard that's something you only hear on Live Let Thrive, y'all.
Yeah, VRBO does it too, but you have to manually push it to VRBO. Airbnb does it on their own, so be careful with them.
Booking.com's got better about being on top of the calendars too.
They have?
Yeah. They're getting better.
That's what I'm hearing. A lot of people are telling me to get back on BDC.
Yeah, you know me. You want me to tell you one of my stories?
Yeah, go ahead. I got a bunch of them.
Yeah, you do. So I'll make one. I'll make it short. Let me see. You heard the XFL is coming to Arlington?
No, I didn't hear that.
They're bringing it back, and one of the teams is gonna play out of Globe Life Park.
Oh, that's what they're gonna do.
Which is the Rangers, the Texas Rangers ex ballpark. You know,
Mm-hmm.
they're getting a new ballpark. So you know how I always hit up Arlington City Council website. I always talk smack on there. I said something pretty funny. I gotta pat myself on the back. But when they announced something about what were they talking about? About the progress of the new stadium, and it's gonna have a retractable roof and stuff like that. Of course, Arlington is trying to ban Airbnb, and I was like, oh, that's great. That's great that our hard-earned money, our tax dollars' money, is going to help build these stadiums, and we get to benefit from it a little bit by being able to rent our houses out to tourists coming to town. And I was like, oh wait, never mind.
Oh yeah, man.
And so
but that's my thing. Like, they're building all this stuff
with our tax dollars,
and then they don't want to let.
They don't want to let us get a little piece of the action.
Yeah, but I'm about to. Like I said, I'm not tripping as a home share host.
Yeah.
Remote host, yeah, they might have something to worry about. I'm like, because I turned everything into Arlington. Actually, I'm about to turn everything back corporate real quick.
There you
go. It's that winter slowdown that's coming. Because I've been hearing a lot of people asking what's up with the December slowdown, which it wasn't slow for me until I just looked at it this month. Then I'm looking at my calendar. I'm like, damn, December is kind of slow. But I've already made enough. I had somebody book for a month at one of my places, so I'm good on that.
Good to get.
Yeah.
I also hit them up when they talked about when they put on there. Oh, we're excited to mention that the XFL is coming to town.
Mm-hmm.
The city council put that on their Facebook page, and we're gonna have a team in Arlington. Blah blah blah. And so, of course, I'm a smart ass always, and so I put on there. I said, oh, okay, cool. I said, what did I write? I said, potential team names, and I put on there the Dallas Destroyers, because it's Arlington, but they're not going to get the name. And then the Fort Worth Faders, And then I put on the very last one, or the Arlington pays for everything but doesn't get to name the teamers.
Wow.
And people were like, oh, that one's catchy. That's
pretty much
They're
Arlington,
hitting
man.
it up. Because, it's funny. It's funny, but not funny. Okay, we understand. The Dallas Cowboys are going to come here. They're not going to change the freaking name to the Arlington Cowboys, right? We understand that. They're a freaking institution. Best team on the earth. I'll fight you on that. And we don't have the best quarterback, but he's getting better, man. Give him a chance. Anyways, that's another story for our other podcast, our sports podcast. So anyways, Arlington, they welcome the Rangers. Of course, they're the Texas Rangers. They're not Arlington Rangers.
Yeah.
And welcome the Cowboys, the Dallas Cowboys. We hosted a Super Bowl All-Star. We hosted all kinds of stuff there. And every time they get on TV, live from Dallas, Texas,
Yeah.
And so they don't get even any props on TV hardly. That started a little bit, but not a lot. And then we got a WNBA team here in Arlington. Yeah. That's pretty cool. What are we going to name them? Oh, the Dallas Wings. Okay, if we can't even name a WNBA team, I mean,
you can't really name it Arlington, though.
The Arlington?
I'm going to tell you why.
Okay.
If you look at any major sports team, it's a bunch of major sport teams that don't play in the city. You can't name it like, I can't think of one, but off the top of
New York Giants, they play in New Jersey.
Yeah,
New York Jets, they play in New Jersey.
Yeah,
Boston,
Red Sox? The Sox?
No, the Sox. The Boston, I'm sorry. Patriots.
They're playing
Boston Patriots.
East Rutherford.
No,
the New England Patriots.
I'm sorry, there you go. New England Patriots.
East Rutherford, right?
They play
if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, they don't play in New England, right?
No, they don't play in Boston, is what you're saying, right?
Okay, I don't know. I'm screwed up. But there's a bunch of examples.
Yeah, there's a bunch of examples. You have to go towards the major attraction. Because if they said the Arlington... Matter of fact, I'm going to give you a perfect example. We were in... matter of fact, when I'm talking to somebody that doesn't live here, like when I went back home to Portland, they were like, me and my wife, we were down in Salem, and they were like, where do you guys live? We said we live in Dallas. And they're like, oh, you live in Dallas, Texas. Oh, cool. So then they're like, I was like, yeah, when you guys come down, we can take you to the stadium, to the Cowboys stadium. They're like, oh, yeah, we want to go see it. And I'm like, yeah, it's in Arlington. And they're like, what's that?
What's Arlington?
Like, yeah, even my brother, because matter of fact, my brother, he just came down here, I think a year or two ago. For the first time he came down here. And he said the same thing. He was like, man, I thought this place was in Dallas. And I'm like, there's only two sports teams that play in Dallas. That's the Stars and the Mavericks. Nobody plays in Dallas. But you can't name it the Arlington Star. I mean, the Arlington Rangers. Dude, the hell is that?
Yeah, yeah. Now, one that kind of, and it led to like a funny situation, to talk about sports a little bit, to talk about naming rights. Okay, back in the day, there was a baseball team called the California Angels. Mm-hmm. And then they became the Los Angeles Angels, LA Angels, right? Mm-hmm. And then they moved to over there by Disney and became the Anaheim Angels, which Anaheim, people don't think of Anaheim as like a, Los Angeles or Chicago or New York. But let me finish.
Okay.
I understand what you and it's so much so that, Anaheim Angels, whatever, it's so much so that a new owner bought them a few years ago. Mm-hmm. And he said, I'm going to name them the Los Angeles Angels again. And the city of LA is like, whoa, you're not paying taxes here. You can't just take the name like that. And they said, you got to pay us a fee to use that name. Otherwise, you have to name it something different. And so he changed it. It was for a while the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. That's how cheesy it was. I don't know. I don't know if it's still that way, but he had to work out a deal with the city of LA. I mean, they had to say, hey, you're not here. The stadium ain't here in our city. You ain't paying these taxes. You can't just take our name like that.
Wow.
So,
I mean, like especially in a city like LA. Like, for example, I have places I rent out in Anaheim and in India. But I put the main attraction as LA. Like I list the title as like LA and a whole bunch of stuff to do in LA on there.
Yeah.
Because it's just the attraction.
Exactly.
Which India, the only thing that's going to attract it is the what's it called? The festival, the Coachella. That's out there. But I understand it. But yeah, I see what you're saying though. Yeah, you gotta show them a little bit of love.
But yeah, so that was my little tidbit. Let's dive into some of those hundreds of topics you got there. You got some good stuff. You got some good stuff, man. I'll tell you that much.
Man, the lady who came and said she had a squatter in her house in San Diego, that had me laughing, man. She had a squatter where she lived. I'm like, you let somebody into a private room and they squatted. She said the lady squatted for 2 days. I was like, I wish someone would squat.
Okay, is that squatting for 2 days? I guess.
Didn't pay.
Didn't pay.
They arrived, canceled the reservation, then stayed in her room.
That's squatting. That's squatting. Bounce. Get the F out of here.
What did my boy Sean say? He said, yeah, I would have had somebody tie her and gag her. He said, I have some cousins that would have done that for a blunt and a fifth of yak. So, I don't...
A blunt and a fifth of yak. That's a good deal right there. Hog tie someone.
Get them at your house.
Is that Arkansas justice right there?
Memphis justice.
Memphis. Oh, that's even worse.
Oh, man.
Mr. Bishop's always talking about Memphis.
Yeah. He's the one who said that. That was funny, man.
Oh, man. I hope he deletes his Facebook account when he runs for the whatever office he's going to run for. I love it. I love reading his stuff, man. He keeps it more real than we do. He just puts it out there, man.
Oh, man. That was funny, dude. Man. I mean, I don't know. If somebody was in my... I highly doubt it. I don't know how I'd react, but I highly doubt I'd let somebody...
He'd have to be holding Mahogany back, I think. You'd be holding her back from knocking someone out.
Yeah, I'd be like, yeah, you ain't squatting in the crib for 2 days. You're tripping, you know, so... But, man, we actually have... What ours is, we have a bunch of stories that happen, man. Like the story from the meetup. Now, that was a crazy story. The suicide story.
Oh, yeah. He showed you a picture and everything.
Yeah.
Tell him what happened.
Now, that was crazy. So he was actually at the last meetup. That's where I met him. And he hit me up. I think it was for Thanksgiving. I was out of town. I was in Arkansas. And I seen his call and I seen him text, but I was busy. So when I got back in town, I still didn't call him, but I seen him at the next meetup. Mm-hmm. And he's like, yeah, man, I was trying to call you. And I'm like, oh, okay, man, what was going on? He's like, I needed your advice on something now. What he said, I was like, I don't think I could have helped you, but he's like, yeah, he has an Airbnb in a complex where I have like 2 or 3 Airbnbs at.
Yeah.
And he was like, man, I got shut down, and he was like, I came to the unit to clean it, and he goes, there was a suicide note there, and he laughed it off. He was like, whatever, it's a suicide note. And he picked up his phone, he recorded it, but he hadn't gone into the rooms because I think he has like a 2-bedroom or something, or 1 or 2 bedroom.
Yeah.
And he rolls into the room. He recorded the letter at first. He didn't and he stopped recording. He was like, yeah, this is crazy. So afterwards, he walks into the room, and man, it was a body just sitting on his... He said a girl was sitting on his... laying out. And he was like... He went over there and, shook her and was like, hey, it was time to go. And he realized, hey, yeah, she was gone, man. She had OD'd. And he called the police, and I guess they told him to take down his listing. So I was like, man, I don't know what kind of advice I could have gave for that one, bro. I would have been looking confused on that. Like, yo, that's crazy. Man, I was like, man, because he said he got kind of shocked for a second when he walked in. I know I would have been shocked. I'm like, oh, dang. But yeah, that was the craziest story we heard. That was from
suicide. Wow.
Yeah,
she left a note and stuff?
Yeah, left a note to her family and saying, on the note it said, don't go in the room, I'm going to be dead.
What?
Crazy. Yeah. It was crazy.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so, and it was like, right in the unit where I'm at, but I'm like, I ain't been over there in so long. I was like, dang.
Did he say how he handled that situation? I mean, do you burn the sheets after something like that? I mean, what do you do?
I don't know. I'm pretty sure
the police had to shut it down for a little while, investigate and all that stuff, I'm sure, right?
And then he said they didn't ask him. They just thought, see, that was my thing. I'm like, let's just get a little political. Brother called the police and dead white girl went today. And I'm just saying, man, like, whoa, what?
It's a Lamar Hunt going on.
I'm
Kareem
like,
Hunt
whoa,
going
what?
on.
Plug that back in. It fell out.
Oh.
Yeah, so, I mean, I don't know. It was just a little bit, I don't know. It was...
Yeah, right
yeah.
there. This is live radio going on. Is it maybe it died or is it still on?
Pull it out, or it needs to be plugged in up there.
Is it good? Oh, mine's still good though.
Oh, yours just like
live and uncut coming at you. How about now?
No. Oh, it might be the microphone.
Is it your mic? No, I can hear you loud and clear.
Oh yeah, so it must be my headphones. But no, I
swapped you.
So it's all good. So what had happened was, when he walked in there, I'm like, man, so the cops just He said they investigated. Then the complex came up, and the complex they found out it was a short-term rental. So they were like, "Yo, you gotta shut that down." You know what I mean? So.
Man, that's a crazy story, dude. I would freak out for sure. I unplugged you. Are you? Was it off?
It might have been this right here.
Okay, hand me the thing again.
Yeah.
All right, keep talking. Keep talking.
But yeah, that was pretty much So that was like the craziest story I think we heard this week. So,
how about now?
Yeah, good.
Okay.
But yeah,
cool.
I think that was the craziest story we heard. So, got a few crazy ones, but.
And okay, I want you to go over some, Micah. You're the maestro. You're the scientist, right? Could you? Okay. What is there a difference between a house that's Airbnb ready and corporate ready? I mean, is there like when you go into a place, or you have an idea it's going to be an Airbnb, or you have an idea it's going to be a corporate rental? Do you approach it differently?
Yeah, Airbnb, a corporate rental is usually smaller than an Airbnb due to the type of clients you're going to get. You got to look at like one bed, two bed condos. A lot of people ask me that because I've been having the last month. I've had a bunch of people come up to me asking, "Hey, I got a 4-bedroom house and I want to turn it into a corporate rental." I'm like, that don't really work unless you're about to do each room. Okay. This is where I would do a corporate rental with a big house. I'll give you an example. My uncle, he lives in Grand Prairie. He has 5 beds, 5 baths. I would do a corporate rental because now I can give each person not only your own. I can give you your own microwave, your own microwave, your own mini fridge, and your own bathroom. I might be able to charge each person in there $1,000 a month.
Whew.
That's $5,000.
Otherwise, you're gonna create a party house. Is your other alternative?
Yeah. Well, no, you can do. Well, I've never ran something that big, so
That's
I could say probably
That's like a hotel right there.
Yeah.
5 bed, 5 bath.
Yeah, you could run a party house. So to avoid that, because a lot of people have been asking me that, how to create a corporate rental. I mean, you're looking at 1 and 2 bedroom units for corporate, unless you're doing private rooms out of a house. And of course, if you have a private room, and it's connected to a bathroom, you can charge more. I actually seen Carter said she was doing that. Shout out for listening and doing that. But yeah, she said she moved out of her main master bedroom, lived in the other room while the guests. And I was like, which is a smart idea. You can make more money.
Yeah.
So I mean, a lot of people have been looking for a corporate. Why are you looking at the Hurst place, right?
Yeah. Well, I was thinking of that too, and I was thinking of how I should set it up differently. And I guess I would imagine you might have to go a little bit more high end if you're gonna do corporate. Is that true? Like to go,
Not really high end. I mean,
better stuff.
The stuff in Airbnb is very similar. That's why the models are so similar, because your stuff should be decent if it's an Airbnb or if it's a corporate. You should be able to just transition into the other from an Airbnb to corporate. But it's just the size of your unit. Like, so you got 3 beds, how many baths?
3 beds, 1.5 bath at the Airbnb.
Yeah, you could corporate rent that. But this is my only thing. I don't know how people are going to react without the owner being there, or even a manager there. That's another thing you could do. You could have somebody pay you cheap ass rent, live in one of the bedrooms, and let her run the corporate rental. Let her do all the cleanings and everything. Maybe have her charge her $500 a month for rent. And you're making money off the other 2.
And that's what I heard way back in the day when Jasper from Get Paid for Your Pad, when they were starting to, they were doing their ban on Airbnb, or they're restricting it a lot over in Amsterdam.
Yeah.
But of course, they still allowed you to do it out of your house. And what he was gonna do, he thought about it. He ended up just selling it altogether, just to not mess with it. He was gonna get let a young college student rent it out, and I think it was a 2-bedroom condo or something, 2-bedroom, whatever. They call them flats over there.
Yeah.
And live in one of the rooms. Take care of it. Take care of all the guests coming in, going out. Handling everything, cleaning. in return giving him cheap rent.
Yeah.
And so in that, there you go. It's like that guy is renting it on Airbnb because he lives there and he's renting it out on Airbnb like a sublet. And that he said, yeah, that could have worked, but I just didn't want to mess with it, and I ended up selling it. And that's when he sold that Amsterdam place. It's Amsterdam, sold it for a shitload of money. Apparently, he didn't say how much, but with that one he bought like 3 or 4 other spots around the globe.
Right.
Like Colombia and I think over there in what's it called, Philippines. He bought one, and there's some other spot, but yeah, and he's still looking to buy. I mean, he made a lot of money off of it, so he sold at the right time.
Also, another thing to look at, like with that model of how you're talking about letting somebody live in, if you had like a 3-bedroom condo or something like that, like how Denver does it, like if they ever put a ban on Airbnbs, that's also the back door to keep going. If you put somebody in there, pay you cheap rent, and then you had them rent out the other 2 rooms for you and run that operation, that's something else to think about as well.
There's ways around it, man.
Yeah. Because that's why I kept saying Airbnb might eventually go back to what it was originally which was a home share platform. You know what I mean?
An air mattress in the living room.
Yeah, it might eventually get back to that because I just think it's just too many cities coming down on it. And I also said corporate arbitragers will always be safe because I don't think they can really shut that down. That's pretty much an apartment complex telling you can do whatever with the unit, but I can't see. I truly can't see them shutting that down. So those are the only 2 caveats with short-term rentals I think won't ever be touched. Yeah, everything else, remote hosting, like when you go, like really honestly, what got the attention on Arlington and Grapevine, these people walking into these predominantly high-end neighborhoods and starting Airbnbs and short-term rentals. That's really what it is. Because those are the people that are going to complain. Because if you walk into a gated community and it's an Airbnb in there, people are going to be throwing parties, man.
That's true.
I mean, that's what happened to, what's her name up in, was she in Grapevine, the one who talked to you? Or was she in South Lake?
I'm not going to say.
Oh, my bad. Okay.
I'm not going to out my underground friend.
Oh, okay.
Underground peoples.
Okay.
But I know someone in a band city that's still doing it and still thriving their asses off, and so that's so they ain't come out of them yet, and they're still making a buttload of money off. I mean, making like 8 to 10 G's a month off of one spot. That's pretty damn good. So yeah. So I guess
they're doing it out of a house, right?
Mm-hmm. Out of a house. And so that okay, come at me with that $2,000 fine. In the meantime, I'm going to be making $10,000 a month, so it's not going to really affect me too much. I can hear you gum chewing.
But that's a risk, man.
Now here's the deal: are they? Because like someone put on one of those forums that like Fort Worth, for example, she said, "Oh yeah, my friend, they sent her a cease and desist." Now, are they gonna do that first before hitting you up with a boom? Here's a fine right away, the $2,000 fine right away, or is that gonna get him in like a legal fights and stuff?
I think they're gonna send you a warning first.
A warning
like a cease
first.
And desist. But my thing, see, when people tell me stuff like that, like, "Hey, I got hit with a cease and desist," what were you doing?
Yeah.
And I think it's a lot of people in these little alliance groups that are party houses. They just ain't saying nothing. Think about it. Some of them ain't saying nothing. They're like, "Well, hold on, I'll sit back in the cut."
Yeah. That's true.
I mean, because like, I can't see the city of Fort Worth just start knocking on doors, handing out cease and desist letters. How do they even know you're an Airbnb? I used to have one in Fort Worth. I never had a problem.
Yeah, unless they find you, man. Unless a neighbor complains or something like that. Desperation will make you a loser. Let's talk about that, Micah. That was one of your hot topics there. Desperation will make you a loser.
Yeah, it will. If you're desperate, yeah, you'll lose every time.
For example, give us a good example.
For example, okay, remember I was off work for 7 months, right?
Yeah.
And I said I'm only gonna go back if I have something in Arlington or if I have something remote. Now this whole time I wasn't even really thinking about a job. I was just working working my business, doing side jobs or whatever, and hustling. But I noticed I landed where I wanted to be because I wasn't desperate and where I needed to be. I'm in a position now that I like the people. It's in Arlington. I don't have to drive far. You know, I'm local now. You know what I mean? I'm less miles on my car. It just seems, but I thought about it for a second. I'm like, dang, man, what if all those people, because all those people got laid off with me. I'm like, man, some of those people are desperate, man. They had to go back to work, and you have to take the first. If you're desperate, people are going to give you crumbs. They're not going to give you what you want.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, let me tell you how this came about. There's an Airbnb host in Arlington that said, forget it, I'm going to jump ship. And she has a property for sale. And it's sitting there vacant. They moved out of it and everything is vacant. And I had one of my guys come up to me. I'm not going to say his name because I don't want to give away everything that's going on. But the lady has a property. And he's like, hey, he came to me. He's like, hey, how should I handle this? He's like, I want her property, but it's listed too high right now. He said, I want to house hack it. And I'm like, is she living in it? He goes, no. I'm like, is it rented? He's like, no. And I'm like, I told him, I said, hey, do this. Go make a standing offer on the house. Just a standing offer. Because she's eventually going to get desperate if it's just sitting empty. She ain't making no money. Mm-hmm. She might not be desperate right now because she probably made her money off Airbnb. She's got some reserves stacked. But those reserves start taking a hit, man. You get desperate. You're like, oh, shoot, I got to do this. I'm like, let that hit. Let that sink in. You'll probably get the house. Just go give her an offer so you're in her ear.
Right.
So that's where we came up, and I was like, man, if you're desperate, man, you can. That's what they call it, motivated sellers. No, you're looking for a desperate seller. That's really what it is, you know.
You come at her as kindly as you can, too.
Yeah.
Because it'll stick in her head. Like, just saying, you got a nice place. I'd really like to rent it. This is how much I could afford to pay. Or I'd like to buy it. This is how much I could afford to pay. Because I plan, whatever. And I don't want to offend you with my offer, but if you do, just think of me in the future if you plan on selling it for a lower price. Just be nice to him. Don't say scoff at him and stuff like that.
You give him, you sweet talk the game.
Because that worked on me before. Because I remember I told you I had a 79 Cutlass, Broham. Yeah, but it was nice looking and all, but I was gonna have to do some work to it, and it was every time I did something to it, it seemed like I messed something else up, kind of thing, and ended up going back to AutoZone, going back to Pep Boys, whatever the hell, and getting more stuff for it, and it's become, working on a classic car, you become a money pit.
Yep.
And so I was like, man, all right. I'm about done with this thing. That's back when we were gonna move from our first house in Arlington. It turned it into a long-term rental to our second house. And so I was like, and the car was still there. People rented it out right away. The car was still in the driveway, and I was gonna do something with it. But all what I didn't like it also was like, now I had a family. I have my wife here. I brought her from Mexico. She didn't come on a caravan or nothing. It's the rum, y'all. So anyways, so I had my wife there, I'd be working and, my wife would be home, whatever. And it'd be like some, it's a 79 Cutlass. Some thuggish dudes would come through every now and then. Hey, you're going to sell that car, And thuggish ruggish looking dudes. No offense to nobody, but that was the facts. And I was like, man, these
the Cutlass gonna bring the hood, man.
Yeah. And I just kind of like, man, no big deal when I was there, but now I got my wife there by herself, And I was kind of starting to look, man. One day, some dude did come by, and he made like an offer for $1,500 for it, And it was low. I was thinking I would get more than that if I was gonna put it for sale.
Yeah.
But it was this black dude that worked over here in Arlington at the Kia dealership.
Really?
It's real cool dude. He's, hey man, he brought his like nephew with him,
Yeah.
I work on these cars, I fix them up, and and he goes, I'll show you one that I got. He showed me some pictures. He goes, my nephew, I want to start a project car with him, and we'll give you $1,500 for it whenever you're willing to sell it. No, I know you probably get more if you put it for sale, but just I said, yeah, I'll get your number just in case,
Yeah.
And he's just real nice dude. I was like real cool. I got a good vibe from him. He wasn't all coming in gold chains and and do rags, all thuggish, ruggish. He was very like a cool guy. I was like, oh, cool. All right, man. I'll think of, and because I got the other dude's numbers too, and they were offering whatever. But when it came to it, when we moved out of there and it was time to sell, I was like, I thought of that guy. I was like, that was a cool guy,
Yeah.
And he's gonna fix it up with his nephew. Who knows if these other guys were real or not? But this guy said, he'll pick it up, whatever. He, at the Kia dealership, he knows a tow guy. He'll even tow it. I don't have to do nothing.
Mm-hmm.
He made it real convenient for me. I didn't have to do crap. I didn't have to get started. I didn't have to do stickers on it. I didn't have to do nothing. He said, I go scoop it up, put it on a flatbed, and here's your money. And so when I finally said, I'm not going to do nothing with this car. I don't have the time or the money. I called him up. Hey, man, you remember me? Yeah, I remember. He said, I'll be over there right now, man. Just let me know. And I met him over there. He gave me the cash, got the car on the flatbed, took off. I was like, it was cool. It was convenient. It was nice. It was clean, easy. And he was a nice guy. So, it's all about how you talk to people, communicate with people, and make it as easy as heck for them. Don't come at them with the complicated, hey, I could do a wrapping around lease on this house. I can give you $5,000 down, and then we could, transfer it to my name after 5. No. Tell them you're gonna pay them this price.
Yeah.
I can give you the money as soon as you're ready to sell, and I'll handle everything. I'll pay for all the closing. You don't have to do nothing. Make it as easy for these people as they can. They'll keep you in mind. And like, I'm gonna call that guy.
You know what's funny? I had the exact same story, man. I had a 99 DeVille sitting in my front yard. My head gaskets had went out, and I put a for sale sign on it, man. And 89 DeVille, man, bring out that hood, So, it was my second Cadillac. It was my 99 DeVille.
Yeah.
Long body with the rag top.
Nice.
And so, but I was desperate though. I was in college. I'm like, dang, man, I can't just afford to have this car sitting out here. I just bought my house. I'm like, man, I gotta make the ends do, man. So somebody came through, man, offered me $1,000 for it. Head gaskets are blown, and I had taken my cousin. My cousin's like, I can just fix it, but I gotta go down to you pull it. I gotta pull an engine out to get it, because it was one of them shitty ass North Star engines from Cadillac. Excuse my language, but so I ended up selling it. And then, like, a few months later, man, I'm driving down the street. I had got my white Kia. That I actually got wrecked here, but I had my white Kia. I look over, man, that dude had fixed that Cadillac up. I see my Cadillac. I was like, damn, man. Yeah, man. So I was like, no, I'm not like, but he had fixed it up. But, I was desperate. So, desperate times, desperate measures, So, I know what you mean, but you found the right person that you wanted to get your car up to, made it easy and simple for you,
Yeah, cool guy, professional, and he made the process super easy.
A guy actually, he's the one who told me that about approaching somebody with an offer. It was a mentor told me that, man. That was a good.
Mr. Can?
No. Can does that?
I don't know. I don't know how Can. He does a lot of business, so he must be doing something right.
Yeah. So that's always a good one. If you can approach somebody with an offer, like, hey, here's this is what I got, it can work out for you. Because that's what I'm doing with my house. See, here goes another flip side example of that. So my house in Arkansas, I'm not desperate, but I have my price way up here, and I'm short-term renting it, making money off of it. I'm like, well, the money's good. I'll just sit back because I really want to buy something here, but I'm not in a rush because I'm not desperate, So, man, that's a strong feeling of freedom right there when you're not desperate, man. It gives you leverage.
Financial independence equals power. I put that right now.
That's a good one.
And then, like, if you don't need the money, you're cool, you're making good money, whatever, you don't gotta sell something. Yeah, you have the leverage, you have the power in the situation.
Yeah, you do. It gives you a lot of power.
Exactly. So, this was a good ep.
Yeah.
I think it was a good ep. And I know we got more topics, but I think we should probably roll another ep if you want to hit up all the other topics.
I'm down.
Cool with that. Yeah, we're over an hour now. We love and appreciate all of our fans out there, and this is cool. We're gonna be YouTubing more, which is great. you get to, I don't know, you get like a more personal feel maybe. I say mentor. My podcast idol is Mr. Joe Rogan. I don't know if you listen to his show.
Yeah, I listen to Rogan.
Yeah, he's great, and he does a
about
freestyle, whatever, man. They go and talk about whatever. You know, he, like a famous singer went on there one time from like a rock band I love, and they didn't even talk about freaking music. I was like, what's going on here, man? Back when I first started listening to him, I was like, oh, I get it. It doesn't matter who the person is, you know. The famous person or whatever, they talk about whatever they talk about. They just go off. He sometimes smokes, you know, weed on the show and stuff. But anyways, I got sidetracked again. So, but he does the Facebook Live, and then he does the podcast. So we're going to start doing that to make it more. I say 3-dimensional. I don't know. Well, I guess we're 2-dimensional, whatever.
Yeah.
And so this was a great show. Thanks for hanging in there. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening on the podcast. Thanks for the downloads and passing the love to everybody. We're growing our audience, and it's really exciting for us.
Yeah. Where can they find us, Steve?
On the internet. LiveLetThrive.com. LiveLetThrive.com. LiveLetThrive@gmail.com. Hit us up on the Facebooks, on the Twitters, on everywhere you can find Live, Let, Thrive.
Peace.
Later.